What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for clicking on today's video. In today's video, it's going to be a very controversial topic, obviously. So I'm going to have to phrase certain things in code and speak about certain topics in choice language. All right. So that means that when I say certain things, I actually mean other things, and I have to be very careful with how I navigate around this article in order for this channel not to get shut down and further shadow banned than it already is. Thank you, YouTube, for shadow banning this channel, which you've already done. So I'm going to give you guys my opinion on what I think about this Nickelodeon casting their first openly trans teen in live action show. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to the title of this article. And I didn't catch this until I really thought about what the title was saying here. Let's look at this title one more time before we dive into this article. Nickelodeon cast first openly trans teen in live action show. The first one. That means that there's possibility that other Nickelodeon stars just weren't open about being trans, and they were young teen stars that were already transitioned. They just weren't open about it because the time was not their time yet. You know, now we're in 2021, we're moving towards more progressive agenda. But I've been saying this for a long time on this channel. Nickelodeon, Hollywood, all of your media entertainment that comes out of Los Angeles is going to try to indoctrinate your children as early as possible and try to create gender fluidity and as above, so below, the male and the female coming together as one, which is why they're promoting this new trans agenda. Look into the Baphomet, look into media, dig deeper into this rabbit hole if you're really interested in that kind of stuff. I can't share everything on this channel once again. I will try to, guys, but I don't want my channel to be taken down because I have a lot of information I still want to share on this channel, and I don't want to create another one. So with no further ado, let's read this article and let's put on our lenses so we can really see what they're saying here, because there is an agenda behind this. And if you don't think this is going to affect children later on that are watching this kind of stuff growing up, you know, when I was young, it was Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and Hannah Montana. And now we have the Danger Force, I guess. And some of these kids in here, you can't even tell what gender they are, to be honest. Like, even just by the cover right here. And we have our first openly trans teen in live action show. So let's see what they have to say about this. Teen is making history as the first ever openly trans actor to be cast in a Nickelodeon live action show. A 13-year-old transgender actor has been cast in a live action show on Nickelodeon, a first for the TV channel. The trans teen, Sasha A. Cohen, will appear on a June 19th episode of superhero comedy show Danger Force, Variety first reported. Pay attention to what I'm about to read here, and I'll try to break it down to the best of my abilities for you guys that may be new to this channel. I want Sasha to see his own power as an actor and as a human. What do we see in all the movements now that are being pushed out? We see this strong and an empowered woman, an empowered trans person, an empowered LGBTQ person. This is what they are promoting. If you are not empowered, what does that imply? You are weak. But let's keep reading. I want him to feel proud of his work and feel real confident in himself in every aspect, and to know that he will help change kids' lives by being the first kid of trans experience on Nickelodeon in live action. What they won't freaking tell you about this is the amount of damage this does to young children that are watching this, that may be struggling with their identification. And now that they're seeing that, hey, this trans kid, he made it. He's a superstar now. If he could do it, I can do it myself. So what do those kids do? They beg their weak parents that are going to give in, and if they're letting their kids watch these shows and they're raising their kids through media, their parents are going to fold and bend, and you know, they're not progressive enough. They don't let their kid do this. They're going to chop off their willy or push in their you know what, or whatever they do to get the transition done. And if we look at the statistics, a large majority of transformers that have transformed end up not doing so well for themselves later on when it comes to living life. I'll just put it that way. Figure that out for yourself, what I just said there. Look up the statistics on that. Are they happy after they've transitioned? Michael D. Cohen, who publicly revealed to Time magazine in May 2019 that he had transitioned from female to male some 2 decades prior, discovered Sasha Cohen by way of his Trans Youth Acting Challenge. The virtual program, which launched in December, sought to help trans and binary youth get a foothold on the entertainment industry. As if the entertainment industry hasn't already been doing this for years. They already have. They've been trying to push this and promote this for a long time now. Lil Nas X is helping out with this. Out of the 200 applications, Cohen's was accepted to one of the class's 15 spots. I had never felt comfortable about who I am, but I always thought that I would never play a trans role, Sasha Cohen said, who is not related to Michael, told Variety. So they'll tell you that, but they have the same last name, and it's not common that doesn't happen. But there are so many kids out there who need to see someone like me, a role model who has the ability to put themselves out there, polluting their minds at an early age. That is the goal of Hollywood, okay? And the satanic church that runs Hollywood, which is also in cahoots with Scientology. They're all one and the same. But that's for another video. This is what they're going to continue to promote to the youth. And it's going to destroy a lot of young children's lives. I've been trying to tell you guys this for the longest time, and I'm going to keep making videos on this until they shut it down. And I'll make another channel, and I'll make another one, and I'll make a website. You can try all you want, but I'm going to keep talking about it because it needs to be addressed. And this is an agenda that is now being more publicly talked about. And now we're seeing it being promoted, and we're seeing it openly talked about, because we're living in an era of information where they can no longer hide in the dark, because whatever's in the dark will eventually come to light. And these cowards know that in Hollywood, and they're having to release a lot of this information now, and they're having to try to speed up the process. But the light wins, and these sickos realize that. Cohen's twin sister, Natalie R. Cohen, will also appear in the June episode. That's interesting. So these two were both cast, and they're brother and sister. There's a lot of things that go on in Hollywood, and in order for you as an actor to even get in Hollywood in the first place, you have to do certain things. So that's already hard enough as itself for you to get that role in Hollywood. But then your sister to also get that role as well? I want to know who the parents are, and I want to know what their motives are and what they did in order to get both their children famous. Because a lot of parents nowadays, they're willing to sell out their kids. This has been going on for a while. They're willing to sell out their kids for whatever it costs. If the price is right, they're selling their kids. Sick. I had so much fun being on the set of Danger Force, and I'm so excited to be able to post about it. Natalie captioned an Instagram post of the siblings on set with co-star Terrence Little Garden High. Everybody on set was so incredibly kind and welcoming, and I just want to thank everyone for being absolutely amazing. Okay, I'll stop talking about it now. It has long been Nickelodeon's mission to be a home for all kids and to authentically represent them in their full diversity. Even though they're kids and they can't rationally make certain decisions by themselves because they're kids. But we're going to keep pushing this agenda and keep just destroying their mind and keep indoctrinating them, and not worry about the long-term effects of what this does to their mental health, because we don't really we just care about the money right now. Get out of here. This is a sicko. Paul D. Beneditis, Nickelodeon's Executive Vice President of Programming and Content Strategy, told Variety of the casting choice. This episode of Danger Force ultimately tells a relatable story of friendship, openness, and trust through the lens of sitcom. We're incredibly proud of it and everyone involved. Alright, so before I close this article out and before I tell you guys how I really feel, I just want to say that I have no harsh feelings towards anyone that is trans or anything like that. Listen, if you're going to do that, you're going to do what you're going to do, go ahead and get the surgery done, do what you got to do, alright? And live in peace, and I hope you're okay with that decision. I mean, no disrespect when I make this video, but when you start to push that onto young children and children that might think it's cool and might give them a chance to get into Hollywood or get a certain role in a movie or a TV show that they really like or become famous, because that's what everyone's obsessed with nowadays. They got to become famous, Instagram famous, and they got to get all the clout. That's when I have an issue with all of this. because it's polluting the minds of young innocent children, and it's going to cause a lot of young innocent children to think this is acceptable and this is okay, and that there's no repercussions for this. Because if you look at the statistics, and I've talked to certain people that have transitioned, they're dealing with severe, and I mean severe, depression and loss of identity. And they've already made that decision, so there's no going back. And they have to wake up every morning dealing with that. And there's nothing they can do because no one had this talk with them. So, yes, I was passionate about this video, but I'm passionate about all the videos I make, but this one especially because it's affecting the young children growing up, and I would hate to see another generation just waste away once again to the propaganda that the Nickelodeon and Hollywood push out and promote. So if you feel the same way and you want this video to be promoted and spread, be sure to drop a like, and please hit that subscribe button if you enjoy content like this, you want to see more content like this. It really helps the channel. It helps me stay motivated to push out more content. And please let me know your thoughts about Nickelodeon casting their first openly trans actor, and what you think about the long-term ramifications of this, your thoughts on this in general, and if you think this will become more of a popular thing moving forward. And if you want to see me outside of this box on YouTube, be sure to follow me on Instagram at LonnieSpence_. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I'm gone. Have a good one.